Modern Warfare 2 is here, and whether you're playing to grind the mastery camo, hit max rank, or just for fun, there is always one thing that will bind us together: the rage-filled screams of the lobby when you tear them apart with an overpowered weapon. So here I am to make matters even worse and tell you a few early suspects for the most overpowered, rage-inducing weapons in Modern Warfare 2 so far.
I was just stunned for 7 seconds!
So first up, we have the most notable one, I think, and if you've played the game for even 5 minutes at launch, I guarantee you've had your butt handed to you by this one at some point. It's the SPR 208 Marksman Rifle. Now this Marksman Rifle is a quick scoper's dream. Its one-shot capability at medium to close range makes it a prime candidate for any sniper in a 6v6 environment. Land a hit in the chest or above, and whoever you're aiming at is certainly going down. Mix this with a fast aim down sight speed, and it's a force to be reckoned with. I myself found moments of frustration coming up against this beast. When you put it into some good hands, it's almost unbeatable. Once the attachment gurus find the perfect balance between speed and range, this thing will leap off the charts and surely will catch a nerf. It's not all bad though, as it does take some skill to use. After all, it is a bolt action rifle and it has its limitations. Do I want it to get nerfed when I'm not using it? Absolutely. When I am though, absolutely not. It's far too fun and satisfying to use. Uh-oh, they're back. Hide your family and cover the dog's eyes. The snake shot rounds have returned from Modern Warfare 2019. Now, I need to bookmark this by saying that luckily, it's not as overpowered as it was back in 2019, which had to take 3 nerfs before it was put back into its cage. But level the Basilisk revolvers up and you'll be granted the ammo type snake shot once more. Combine this with the akimbo and you have yourself too many shotguns as a sidearm. Yes, it is a little bit gimmicky, but boy, can it be powerful in the right circumstances. It has the one hit potential that really boils people's blood, including mine. On top of that, just looking completely ridiculous and a little bit flashy, and that annoys everyone. All of that combined is a recipe for inducing rage in the opposition. Now, its drawback is that it does have a rather slow rate of fire, so if you're not within its one hit kill range, then you leave yourself open to retaliation. It also has a steep damage drop off, past about the 7 meter range or so, and the rounds actually completely disappear and won't do any damage to the target at all. There are some attachments that can help with this, but I'll let you experiment with them yourselves. I think the nostalgia and the fun factor will really outweigh the negatives though. Mix this with the throwing knife and you'll have the whole lobby in tears in no time. Especially if you have a buddy doing the exact same thing, and man, then it feels like the good old days of Call of Duty. Now, it wouldn't be a complete list without an out-and-out shotgun on it, would it? This time, though, it's the Bryson 800 mixed with the explosive slug rounds. This really extends the range out of the shotgun and pushes it into sniper-esque territory. Now, the bullet velocity and accuracy are yet to be desired, but it is made up for the sheer power this package unleashes. Unleashes. Shotguns in this game are pretty tame usually. They're not bad, but they aren't this powerhouse that they have been in some previous games, which is a good thing, really. But putting the explosive rounds in a slug variant is always asking for a little bit of trouble. Ignore the build I have here, I think it's a little bit too slow, but the number of one-shot downs you can get at some pretty decent ranges is really surprising. Add that to the splash damage and you have a handful of fun loaded into every shell. It's all about making a shotgun as versatile as possible. We all know that ace is a close range and this build is no exception to this. But once you start competing at longer ranges and you're still getting that 1 to 2 shot damage output, then the Bryson 800 becomes something of a powerhouse. Much like the SPR 208, it does take a little skill, as if you miss the shot, you're likely going to get punished. But damn, is it satisfying when you can chain a few well-placed shots together. Alright, let's bring this back to reality, shall we? Moving away from the meme weapons, we're actually going to go into something genuinely solid. A choice that has been popping up here and there. And this one is an absolute classic. The P90, or better known as the PDSW528 for some reason. Now, SMGs in this game aren't fantastic as a base, right? A lot of them have terrible range and low damage output. But finally, it's the P90's time to shine. It's been waiting for this moment ever since Call of Duty 4, and right now it is definitely the best choice in the SMG category for just how versatile it is. It, like other SMGs, absolutely shreds at close range, but the P90 has a few attachments that can really push that range out into the medium-ish side of things without too much compromise on its mobility. Mix this with its high rate of fire and 50 round mag by default, and oh boy, you can tear some teams apart with this thing. It's never going to compete at longer ranges, as after all it is a PDW, but use the P90 in the right areas and it can easily get you out of a 3 versus 1 without ever having to reload. It's nice to see the old classic back in the limelight. And finally, we have one of the most surprising entries on this list. It is the P890 pistol. Now, there is no doubt that this has been doing the rounds on social media for being an absolute beast. And to be honest, when I first booted up the game, I skipped over it pretty much right away. I saw its relatively low fire rate and scoffed at the thought of not using X13 instead. But boy, was I wrong. Up close, this gun has a 2-shot kill potential to the body. It's basically a mini short-range DMR in your back pocket. And quite frankly, if the fire rate was any higher, we'd have to banish it to the nether realm for being way too good. The best part of it though, is it doesn't even need any attachments to be this good. Just a plain old pistol will do the trick. Now of course, past the 7 or 8 meters, the damage does drop off quite quickly to the 3 to 4 shot territory. So it's not going to compete with the ARs or SMGs, but at super close range, the range that you would likely be using pistols anyway, it's certainly going to save your bacon in fights you probably should have lost. It definitely beats any other pistol in this scenario for sure. And that's about it guys for now. It was a quick fire video. I hope these ones surprised you, or there are maybe ones that you already know. I'm sure by the time this video goes up, there'll be many more that should have made this list. So let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make another list including your suggestions. So thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did like the video, hit like, and if you fancy sticking around, hit subscribe too. But until next time guys, cheers.
Objective secure.